Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Rosten's Review, episode number 11. We did it. It's Friday. We made it through week 18 of the school year. Congratulations. About 21 weeks left. Okay? Getting through. We had a good week this week. We worked hard. We did some cool stuff. And it is time to review. Oh, 2 viewers. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Okay, so this week in social studies, we did some pretty cool stuff. Okay? First thing we did is we finished up mummification. So last week, we created a mummy, right? We did some hands-on work, and we created a mummy. If you remember, we mummified the scribe Seneb, and we performed the process of mummification, which was cool. And then this week, what we did was we looked at a secondary source, right? And it was entitled How and Why Mummies Were Made. All right. And it was actually written by ushistory.org, and it was very nicely adapted by our friends over at Newsella. So shouts to ushistory.org and Newsella for giving us a secondary source that we could use. And we annotated it using the 6 points of annotation, right? Because that is how we extract important information from a primary or secondary document. And so we use the 6 points of annotation to grab some important information on mummification and to help us answer the historical investigation question, which is, were the Egyptian pharaohs wise investors or wasteful spenders? So we did that, and I'll show you. I'll bring it up right now for you. Let me just pull it up. Sorry, my bad. Hey, everybody. What's up? Oh, someone left. Not cool. Okay, here we go. So we showed everybody the 6 points of annotation, okay? And we start off our annotation by finding key vocabulary, right? So we circled the words that we do know, and we circled words like noble and scribe and Osiris and Isis. And then we triangle words we don't know. So we triangled, someone didn't know what the word shaking or trembling meant, so we said that it was shaking. Someone didn't know the word verdict, so we triangled that word, and we came up with decision and ankh, which is a cross with a loop above the bar, which we might see again soon. Hashtag just saying. So we read the article. We used the 6 points of annotation. We made sure this time that we came up with questions and summarized what we learned for every 2 paragraphs, okay? And then what we did was we came up with, we reviewed, right, what we learned. And then we decided after that, so we did that. I'm sorry, I was a little distracted. We did that. I'm going to stop sharing for a moment, and I'm going to come back. So we went through the article, and we needed to see, was this really a wise investment or wasteful spending? Now, some of you came up with that it was wasteful because, you can't really use the stuff in the afterlife. You don't reunite with your body, which is a very valid argument. But the Egyptians believed that they could. So some of you believe that because of the religion and because of their beliefs that it was a wise investment. So what I wanted to do next is we wanted to look at an actual tomb, all right, and see what kind of items and objects that pharaohs brought with them. So who better than Mr. Rosten's second favorite pharaoh, second favorite, than King Tut. So we looked at his tomb. Okay, and I gave you guys this graphic organizer. And I'll bring it up right now. And I gave you guys this graphic organizer. And we looked at it. And we analyzed the artifacts. So there were 6 artifacts to analyze, and we do that by doing 3 things. First, we meet the artifact, and we have to infer what it's made out of. Then we observe the artifact, which means we describe it. So we describe it by, shape, size, color, texture, things of that nature. Then we have to make sense of it, okay? So we answer these 3 questions in TTQA format. First, we determine what it is. Then, what is it used for? And are there similar items today? So you and your small groups did that, right? You did that. You did that. And then what I had you guys do was individually, I had you guys go through and determine whether it was a wise investment or wasteful spending, right? And you had to come up with a reason why. Then you got with a partner and you talked about, or your small group, and you talked about your decision and why you came up with that decision. And it was really, there was some really, really cool conversations going on. So I was really happy with that. So then as a whole group, we went through all the artifacts and we learned what some of the different things were. So we learned that this item right here was a throwing stick, not a walking stick, a throwing stick. And we know that it was used for protection and hunting. We learned about the headrest and that how King Tut would use it for comfort. We learned about his golden fan and how that he would use it because we know that Egyptians believed that the afterlife was very similar to the mortal world. So we learned that if the climate is hot in ancient Egypt, that in the afterlife, it would make sense to have a fan with you. Oop, come on, work with me here. We looked at the game of Senet, and we know that that's entertainment. We remember that King Tut was still a young guy. He was a kid. I mean, he was 9 when he took the throne. He was, 18 when he unfortunately passed away. So it would make sense for him to bring a game. It would be something that he enjoys doing. We learned about the painting, right? And that we learned that it was used for decoration and to show some history, for him to remind, people that he was part of the new kingdom, right? Which meant that his family ruled both Lower and Upper Egypt. And so it was a way for him to show his royalty, a way for him to show that, he belonged. And then last but not least, your without a doubt favorite was the golden chariot. And we talked about how King Tut probably did not travel much by foot because he was royalty and he was the king. And so he would need a chariot because if he didn't walk in the mortal world, why would he walk in the afterlife, right? So we analyzed artifacts, we took a look, and it was pretty cool. I'd say it was cool. It was very enlightening to see. So after you guys did your artifact analysis, you determined whether it was wise or wasteful, you talked about it, we came to a consensus. I had you guys answer a question on Google Classroom. Nope, wrong question. And I'll bring it up right now. So the question was, or is, the question is, and Peter's moving pretty slow. Here we go. The question is why did King Tut need so many valuable items in his tomb? And you guys had to answer that question in TTQA format. And it was just really nice with Google Classroom is that I could, post your grades for your answer right away. And let me tell you, and I'm going to stop sharing this for a moment just so that way I can look you all directly in the eye. I was very proud of your answers. I really was. There was not one student, I can honestly say this, there was not one student who did not answer the question correctly. Okay, you guys did awesome work. So clap it up for you. Love it. All right. So we did that. We've ended our week. We're now going to dig a little bit deeper into the other pharaohs. Okay, so next week you're going to meet some other pharaohs. you're going to look at how they spent their money. You're going to meet some other pharaohs. And by the end of the week, you are going to come up with your claim statement for were the Egyptian pharaohs wise investors or wasteful spenders. So remember, when creating a claim, you have to do 3 things. 1, choose your side of the argument. So you're going to have to decide, were the Egyptian pharaohs wise investors or were they wasteful spenders? So you're going to do that. Then you're going to come up with 3 reasons. 1, 2, 3. Egyptian pharaohs were wise investors because, and you're going to come up with 3 reasons. And you're going to put those 3 reasons in order so that way your last reason is the most important one. Because remember, we have 3 body paragraphs in our argumentative essays, right? So 3 body paragraphs, 3 reasons. 3 reasons equal 3-point sentences. Doesn't get much easier than that. Okay? So good week this week. Be proud of yourself. I will be calling in some kids this week during team enrichment to work on peel paragraphs. We're doing some good things as I talk to you guys after I handed them back. We're doing some good things. We're writing some good point sentences. We're finding good evidence. We're citing it. Some of us still need a little work on that, but that's okay. We're working on it. We're getting through it. But what we did really well is part of our elaboration. Okay, so if you know, here and let's see if I can bring one up. Dun, 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 dun. Here we go. Dun, dun, dun. Let's bring this up for you really quick as soon as it loads up. Here we go. Perfect. All right. So we know that when we're writing a peel paragraph, right, we have our point sentence, yeah? So we were giving a reason why we're choosing our side of the argument. Then for our evidence, we're citing our evidence, and we know our go-to sentence starter is according to, and then we say the title of the source, and then we say according to, so let's just use how and why mummies were made, and we put a comma, and then a quotation mark, right? And then we cite we quote our source exactly as it is. And then we need to go to our elaboration. So you need to explain what the evidence means in your own words. And you guys are doing so good at this. So good. Like seriously, so good. I can't even tell you how good you're doing at it. I can't tell you enough. But we're not elaborating. We're just not doing it. We're not explaining why it's important, why it proves our point. We're doing such a disservice to our readers that we need to elaborate, explain why that's important, how it shows your point. Okay? So we're going to work on that next week. You can bet on it. All right. So next week, we're going to see how pharaohs spent their money. We're going to meet some new pharaohs. Then the week after that, or then at the end of the week, you're going to create a claim statement because our fishbowl debate is coming up. And let me tell you, that is that's like my second favorite day of the year. My first day, of course, is making mummies. My second favorite day of the year is our fishbowl debate because we do it cross cluster. So that means 6-2 and 6-3 are going to be there. We're going to debate on the question. We're going to use evidence to support our claims. It's going to be awesome. All right. So as I tell you every Friday, recharge the batteries, take a deep breath, recharge your batteries, come back ready to give 110% on Monday because it's about to get exciting up in here. Let me tell you. All right. So that's all I got for you this week. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you all on Monday. Remember, Monday, day 5. So team enrichment first thing in the morning. All right. Hope you all have a great weekend. Take care. Be safe. Don't be stupid. I'm out. Peace.